CO2. It's a natural part of our atmosphere, but carbon dioxide has also become a problem as a greenhouse gas. Well, thanks heavens for the greenhouse gases, or elsewhere planet Earth would be a very cold rock within the big nowhere. But too much gas is also a problem. So we try to regulate how much we humans can pollute with CO2. The thing is, we keep digging up coal from the underground, oil, gas, hard cold, and we burn it off, and it is put into circulation again in the atmosphere and the hydrosphere, and it's not always that good. So we try to ban it. Oh no, we cannot really ban it. It's a bit difficult. Let's try something else. We make a quota system. As part of our climate control, we look at the anthropogenic impacts on the climate through CO2 emissions. In recent years, that means ever since we have had the Industrial Revolution, the amount of greenhouse gases, including CO2, in our atmosphere has increased. This do also affect our seas, so we really need to do something. I see it as a part of environmental law. Environmental law is basically to control how we humans pollute our surroundings. In this case, our atmosphere. Our atmosphere is also part of our nature, of our external environment. The characteristic thing is that the effect of CO2 emissions and of other greenhouse gas emissions are global. It really doesn't matter whether we pollute in Denmark or in China or in Argentina. It ends up in the very same atmosphere we all share. So we call it climate law, and it's basically an international law where we try, hopefully all of us, to reduce our emissions, maybe even to take CO2 out of the atmosphere and down back in underground from where the coal originally came. For instance, in the EU we have such climate regulations. It's a little bit hard to do it globally because the only thing everyone really can agree on is that the other should pay. Maybe only the other should pay. This is the Danish sources of greenhouse gas emissions. Sorry for using such old figures and in Danish, but a huge part come from the energy sector, still does. It's the blue one, transport, the red one, It's also nearly a quarter. Agricultural sector, the green one, which some claims are not that green, also nearly a quarter, and then all the rest of the sources. This is basically from these sectors we pollute. And, of course, among the others, household. Think about what you're doing when you're using your mobile phone and the internet. When you're going on holiday, when you are buying blue jeans, drinking coffee, all those things put a pressure on nature. So, basically, stop your coffee drinking, your blue jeans, and stop transporting yourself. Sit home in the darkness and despair. It's better for the climate, not for you. Well, anyway, we tried to make some regulation to fight climate changes, if we can. Who knows? But at least we would like to fight the rise in anthropogenic CO2 gas emissions. And we make some systems for that. International, we've made the Climate Convention, including the Kyoto Protocol and the Paris Agreement. And the EU, we made the emission trading system. And in Denmark, we made our own regulation, quota legislation, Climate Act, WE, that's Danish for renewable energy, and our Electricity Supply Act. In the EU, our treaty actually says, yes, we shall integrate these things. We can take care of the environment. Energy is part of the EU legislation as well. So the EU simply ratified the Climate Convention and the Kyoto Protocol. And this framework is basic for the EU climate regulation. The EU Kyoto commitments simply is split up on different periods. You can see it's an old commitments, so we already should have done a lot. Maybe we not met all the targets, but anyway, we try to do something about it. And we try to say, internal within the EU, we will make a burden sharing who is a bit different from that of the Kyoto Protocol, which put the same burden of everyone. And Denmark, many years back, said, hey, we are so good, we can take 21% in the first period. This kind can be difficult, easy to say, hard to deliver. The same we have now with our very ambitious CO2 targets. Part of this EU system is that we shall trade. We shall trade the quotas, basically hoping that the quotas will land where you cannot, or where it's very expensive to fight pollution. So those who cheaply can fight pollution can sell some of their quotas to others which have more problems with them. And some of the big pollutants, such as power plant, oil refineries, steel production, and so on, well, they may have to buy quotas. But some of those quotas were actually, at least in the start, given for free, and still is. So sometimes you just exceed the quotas, and then you are fined the old-fashioned way. And if not all are sold, or used, you can sell them. You can actually make it a sort of income, fiscal income to the state, selling quotas instead of just giving them away. But the idea in the future is we shall continuously reduce these quotas. And we will also include more and more sectors in a quota system. Thank you for your attention.